feel like I look gross, but I don't really care that much. I'm not even wearing a bra. Hey guys, so I'm back today, and today's video was actually requested. Somebody asked me what I thought about martingales and tie downs because I think I've said in the past that I don't really like them, but I also have been using one on Starburst. So today I wanted to talk about how I think about martingales and tie downs, because just like everything, they can be used extremely wrong, and they can be beneficial to the horse. So as you guys have seen, if you've watched my training vlogs, I do use a German Martingale on Starburst. If you don't know who that is, she is the black mare that I train. And let me just say, like, I'm not the only one who trains her either. There are other people that train her. She's kept at a trainer's barn, so he works with her and her owner does work with her, and we're all kind of doing work with her. So basically her owner told me, like, hey, we're using a German Martingale on her now. When you go to work with her, just make sure you put it on. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. I think martingales I think are a little different than tie downs, especially because they actually have a real benefit, I think, to the horse. Like the German Martingale that we're using on Starburst, it basically comes through her bit and it clips onto these rings that are on the reins. And basically, if I use that on her over, you know, the next year or so, it trains her to carry her head lower. So when I don't use one, for instance, I trained soccer and sugar when I was very young, so I didn't use anything like that. So when they trot and canter, they hold their head up very high and very tight neck type of thing. With her, now that she's getting used to having her head restricted where she can't pull it up, she's learning to re-carry her head down here where it's lower, and it really has collected her trot. It's made it a lot smoother, not so like choppy and fast. Her lope is getting a lot better. It's just reteaching her head carriage, basically. I've really liked using it. I actually went out and bought one myself so that in the future, if I have a project horse that carries a really tight neck, then I can use that. It actually would have been really handy when I had Luna, because Luna carried her head like straight up. It was bad. She was a saddlebred, and you see like the saddle seat, you know, sport. I don't really know what it's called, but it's the kind of sport where they have those big things on the horse's hooves. That's called soaring. Those horses carry their heads like way up here, like straight up, and that's kind of how she did it. So I think if I would have had one for her, it would have been really helpful. But for future project horses, I went out and bought one. There's a lot of different types of martingales, and I'm not really in tune with them all. I mean, I know there's a standing martingale, which I think kind of has the same concept, but it looks more like a tie down. I haven't used it that much, or I just haven't used it at all. What am I talking about? But yeah, I haven't seen it, so I can't really say about that one. I haven't used it, so I think it kind of has the same concept though. The Martingale though, I feel like with Starburst, anyway, the German Martingale, she's not going to need that forever. It's a training tool. So once she relearns to carry her head that way, and once she's doing that consistently and learns that's how she just carries her head naturally at that point, then we can take it off and we don't need to use it anymore. The thing that I don't like when people use tie downs, it's mostly tie downs in the Western world, is when most people use them for barrel racing. And you know, when I was younger, I had a friend that barrel raced, and I was like, why do you even use this? Like, what's the point? And she told me, basically, most people use them so that the horse can't lift his head up all the way, and if he rears, it's going to be harder for him to fall back on you. So it keeps his head here, and if he rears up, it's going to be harder for him to completely fall back over because his head's, you know, tied down. And I was like, I'm like, if your horse has that bad of a rearing problem, why don't you fix that before, like, riding him in a rodeo or, like, doing barrels with him? Like, what? I don't understand the point of them, basically. If you're really scared that your horse is gonna rear up and fall back on you, you probably should just fix that before even, like, riding them full time. I don't know. It's just my opinion. Like, I don't, like, what the heck? Why would you just, oh, my horse rears a lot, so I'll just put this on him. Like, just, that's such, I don't know, laziness, like, taking the easy way out. Like, if your horse has a rearing problem, just put this on him. He won't fall over. Let's not fix the problem. Let's just, I don't know. But that's what I've heard most tie downs are used for. I have a friend that uses one on her horse, and I don't know, I just don't really understand the point of that most of the time. And I see even, like, cattle ropers and those kind of people at the rodeos, even the girl that just carries the flag use them. I feel like most of the time they're used and they're really pointless. Like, why do you even need that? I feel like a lot of people use them because they're an accessory and they like the look of the noseband and whatever, but I'm like, they're really not needed. Like, they're really pointless. So if your horse has a problem with, like, rearing up and falling backward on you, you should probably just fix that before you start, like, full-time riding them a lot. That's kind of not a good thing, and it's kind of dangerous. You could probably get killed. So don't just use a tie down as an excuse or as, like, a cheat so that your horse doesn't fall backwards on you. Like, so no, I don't really like tie downs for that purpose. I don't think they're useful. I don't really think they do very much. But yeah, I like the German Martingale a lot. I feel like it's really benefited Starburst and her head carriage and everything. But yeah, that's how I feel about those. I guess they can be a good tool, a good training, you know, training accessory. And then I feel like they can also be used in the wrong. I guess not really in the wrong, but, like, I don't know, not necessary. So that's why I don't ride mine in tie downs. I think I did maybe once with Sugar when I was working with her on barrels a long time ago, if you guys remember that. Just because I saw all these other barrel racers doing it, and I was like, oh, well, if I'm going to barrel race, I probably need one of those because all the other barrel racers are using them. When really, I don't need that. Sugar doesn't rear buck or anything, so, and neither does BB. And we're actually going to be doing a barrel clinic next month that I plan on vlogging for you guys. I'm going to have some sort of actual horse video up soon. Today is the second day of spring break for me. Just a little update for you guys, and it looks like this out. Go Iowa. So it was literally so nice all last week, like 60s and 70s. And then once it's spring break, you know, this happens and it's supposed to be cold all week. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. That's just my opinion. If you use one, if you use a tie down, that's your choice, but that's just how I feel about them. So hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.